Hello and welcome to the Crypto Club and Digital Assets Weekly Catch-Up on Zoom. It is Sunday, the 19th of January 2025, and we never know quite what we're going to be talking about, but somehow this week I think we're going to be talking about meme coins, in particular Trump coin. This is a token that's been launched in the last 24 hours and has absolutely skyrocketed. Will it be a pump and dump? Will it continue going up? We will be discussing this later on. We tend to cover a wide range of subjects in these sessions, covering things like blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, meme coins, NFTs, ICOs, STOs, any of the three-letter acronyms, really. Some weeks we'll talk about projects that people are working on, developments in central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs as they're better known, crypto regulation, and lots more. Something for everybody in these sessions, so do stick around. Do click on the like, make comments. Even better, come on to a future session. Hold these every Sunday evening, 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. UK time, and everyone's welcome. So with that, let's see who's going to come and join us today. Hey, Annie, good evening to you. Anthony's currently...
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yep, we can.
Oh, fabulous. Yes, it's my first time. I've had you in my calendar for so many weeks, but it's so nice to be here.
Excellent. Welcome aboard. We'll
Thank you.
chat more shortly, but we're just going to say hello to Gabriella as well. Gabriella's another regular who joins us.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hey, good evening to you. So,
Evening.
Anthony, maybe you being a new person, love the backdrop. Tell us a bit more about yourself. What's your interest in crypto and all this stuff then?
Well, I run a video game studio, and we're working on blockchain integration in video games. So we're currently working on a game that has its own token, and we use that token as part of our reward system in the game, rewarding the loyalty of the players who play with us.
Okay.
So yeah, we launched our own token in 2022. So we've been involved in the blockchain and cryptocurrencies for some time since then.
Nice.
I think I've got a video issue here. I'm just seeing what's gone wrong.
Yeah, I'd say you've frozen up. Sometimes it's probably as easy just to leave and rejoin. That seems to be the answer with everything these days.
Yeah.
Either reboot the computer or start again. Not a problem. Well, anyway, if you figure it out, welcome aboard, Anthony. Be really interested to learn a bit more about token and the video gaming and that as well. That'd be good.
Thanks, Gary. So I might just drop off and then come back in. Yes, give me
no
see if I
problem
can
at
get
all.
this to work. Thank you.
No worries.
Sorry.
Gives a chance for me to say hi to Dan as well. Dan, good evening or good morning, depending upon where you are in the world.
Hello, Gary. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Good to be back.
A voice I haven't heard for a while. How's the world for you then?
Yeah, it's cool. All good. Busy. Just thought I'd hop on because we're starting to get to a point in the crypto markets where it's always interesting, but it just feels extremely interesting at the minute. And I thought I would come on here just to try and regulate my emotions a little bit. Put it that way.
It's not going to work that way, Dan. It's a roller coaster ride. You're going to leave this even.
I mean,
you're going to leave this session even more.
What is going on, man? Like with like I've done a little bit of research, but about obviously the president of the United States releasing a meme coin.
Indeed.
What is going on?
And we are talking that meme coin is, for those who don't know, is Trump coin, which was launched yesterday, and since then has gone up. Well, initially the press were reporting that it had gone up about 900%. It's gone up a lot more since then. It launched at a few cents, and it has leapt up to $75 at one point. And then it's decayed away again. But yeah, this appears to be an officially approved meme coin from President Trump, and it has absolutely blown up in terms of the price, creating lots of news. I'm hoping we'll get one or two more people on who'll give some thoughts and comments about that shortly as well, actually.
Yeah, I've initial thoughts. My initial thoughts. I've got a really, really bad taste in my mouth about it.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I believe is 80% of the supply, I don't know whether it's Donald Trump's, but in 80% of the supply is owned by the people who set it up, basically, in simple words. Which doesn't seem. I'm not too sure. Probably out of my depth to comment, but there's something that gives us a bad taste in my mouth about it.
It's certainly something that it's got certain attributes to it, shall we say? And one of them is, who the holders are and how long they've held it. Although obviously they can't have held it long because it was only launched yesterday. But you're right, when you get this high concentration of people, and then for some weird reason the price just goes up, 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 and up, it is creating a lot of speculation, a lot of interest. And yeah, my concern is always that anything like this gets a lot of hype in the first 24 hours or whatever, and everyone goes, oh, I've got to buy into that, I've got to buy into it. Just at which point that was the whole idea, was to set them up and then it drops away. That said, speaking to people earlier who have done rather nicely out of this, I mean, anything that's gone up, I think it's up 27,000% or something in 24 hours. So if you bought into it at any point in the last 24 hours, then it's probably gone up in some way. And if we look at the, I've got the current price on it. What we got? Oh no, it's gone away. I did have the current price on. Oh, there we go. In fact, yeah, we can see it's been going up, down, and all over the place kind of thing. But it has been generally going up, up, and up. And it just worries me, though, that it might just hit a certain number at some point, and that's a point at which there's a massive collapse. The one different thing about this coin, though, is that the fact it appears to be an officially sanctioned and approved and supported coin from Trump means that maybe it won't suddenly have this kind of like rug pull that we often see with other things, but I really don't know. So
who knows? Who knows?
Indeed, yeah. Anyway, we've been joined by a few more people who've joined us. Anyway, we've got Oscar and Rebecca. Good evening to you both.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Hello.
That's right, both of you being very polite, waiting for the others to say hello. So Rebecca, I guess, is in Spain at the moment. So Oscar, tell us a bit more about yourself. This is the first time you've been on one of these sessions?
No, it's me, Gary. I've got to keep changing the name when I log in. So.
Right, okay.
From London.
well, in that case, then I'm going to kill off there's someone who's joining with an AI note taker, which I would prefer that they don't. They're welcome to watch the YouTube recordings of these sessions afterwards. But I'm always a little bit nervous about people who log in with AI bots in some way. So anyway, so all good. So Oscar, or whoever you want to be called today, well, welcome back again. That's good. So obviously the interesting topic for today is definitely Trump coin. With it being a meme coin. I don't know if anyone else has been looking at it. Dan, you've obviously got some reservations, should we say? I don't know, Rebecca, Oscar, Annie, any other thoughts about it?
I gotta say, I don't like it.
Mm.
I tried to read about the value of it. I don't see a lot. I get the speculative purpose of buying it. But if you're gonna do that, Bitcoin was always gonna go up when it approached Trump's taking power, taking the White House. So for me, there was no need as a trader to buy the coin that has no value whatsoever. It might as well go broke in a week. So I did went long on everything because I mean, pretty much every trader out there knew that was gonna happen, but the coin is like Dogecoin. So with Dogecoin, I did buy it before the elections, and if Trump got elected, which obviously happened, the token was gonna go up. But in this case, I think it's pushing it too much.
Because it's interesting as well when you look at some of the other cryptocurrencies. In fact, I'll just pull up a chart now. If you take a look at Bitcoin in the last couple of days, that's generally going up quite nicely as well, and that might well be the kind of like the Trump effect of President Trump has said he's generally pro-crypto enthusiastic. So we've seen Bitcoin going up. It was like $90,000. It had a bit of a difficult time. And now it's back up to, well, it did peak up at 105,000. It's dropped down a little bit again. But the other one as well is Solana, because Trump Coin is actually based on the Solana ecosystem. That's had a kind of a corresponding impact on Solana as well, which not everyone's been talking about. And it's interesting, last 24 hours, gone from what, $250 to what's that, $290. So that's less than a 20% gain now. Still not bad. So I think the whole market right now is getting influenced both by Trump Coin as a meme coin, and also the general excitement of the inauguration and what that could mean to crypto in general in the US. I don't know if anyone offer any other thoughts on it.
I think, Gary, I've had, and I think the whole market has had such a buzz about the inauguration of Trump, which is tomorrow, I believe.
Yep.
Which is tomorrow. And, we've also in the last few days had like a really nice price action on everything. In the build up to that, you would assume. But then the Trump coin coming out just was a bit of a buzzkill for me, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I think that's probably why I've got such negative effects of it as well. There's a couple of telltale signs that give me that like feeling. But in a way, and I think to put in the simplest terms as possible, I thought Trump got it, and then like he obviously does, but when he brought this out, it made us think like, oh no, this is not what we're about. Like, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm really far away with that judgment, but that's how I'm feeling at the minute. And I mean, to be fair, what I wanted to ask you today is, with Trump getting in, what is the topics and estimated topics that Trump might make decisions on that could potentially affect the price action? So I believe a Bitcoin treasury is being talked about. Could that be decided tomorrow?
I doubt if it's decided that quickly.
Okay.
I suspect what will happen quickly is things like, I think Gary Gensler, who's the current SEC chairman, officially steps down tomorrow, I think. And I think we're going to see some other changes to the various regulatory heads, and potentially to the attitudes as well. So whether that's the SEC, the CFTC, or any other organizations who believe that they're regulating crypto in some way. I think we're going to start seeing some changes with the people to begin with, and then the policies, and then we'll see the trickle down. So I don't think, unless there are rapid announcements, as you say, things like Bitcoin Treasury, which is the idea of, if I remember correctly, of the US Federal Reserve actually holding Bitcoin as a reserve in some way, which to me seems very unlikely indeed. But unless there are certain regulatory things that come in quickly, I suspect we're going to see the actual impact on the crypto market of Trump's inauguration taking a little bit longer than just 24 hours. But I'm open to the conversation of what other people think.
Yeah, I have an opinion. I wonder if you'd entertain me on this. I think what Trump just did was a way of signaling to every market maker or any regulator, there's a change coming. And this is the drive I have. This is the influence I have. And this is first installment of many that I'm going to bring. And as soon as I get my guy in the office, in the SEC, stand by. Like that's what his message is with this. And you saw as soon as Trump Coin's tweets went out, ELON Coin went through the roof. Jupiter went through the roof. Ton, Solana, everyone's jumped on this marketing campaign to say, hey, we already approved and we're part of the group that's going to make these big moves in America. And that's the narrative they're pushing right now. And I traced every coin that was relative or tied itself one way or another today, see a big explosion, and it drained from everywhere else. And they just moved over, and it was a shock. Like everyone was like, "Oh, he hasn't even stepped in office yet, and he's made a move." You know, this is the way of him making that soundbite.
I think you may be right, because I'd heard about ELON Coin as one of the others kicking in, and again you can see like there was a massive explosion of that. What was it, point 0.02 up to 0.21? So that's a tenfold increase or whatever. And I think what you also see in these markets is it's kind of like watching sheep, but they're very big sheep, that they'll move from market to market. So some people will do a trade on Trump coin, make a load on that, and then transfer it into something else, make a load on that, and transfer it to something else, make a load on that. So I think you may be right on that, Oscar, definitely. Go on, who else got any thoughts? Annie, you're nodding, but you're staying quiet.
I think if I know how to do these things, I probably would have purchased it when it is low.
Hmm?
And then even if I sell it today at the highest point, I still gain something to get my grocery shopping done.
I think what you're saying actually reflects a lot of people, to be honest. You've always got this thing of when people look at crypto charts and they see something go up tenfold, for example, and there seems to be a standard sequence emotionally of people going, "Oh, I've missed out. It's too late. I won't bother." So then it goes up to 12 times, and they go, "Oh, maybe there's a bit more upward momentum in this," and maybe they get in at that point, or they don't. And they hold back and they think, "Oh, it's definitely expired now," and it goes up 100-fold, and they go, "Oh no, I missed out." And you get this thing that as each step goes up, and people keep thinking, "Oh, I should have bought in. I should have bought in." You're either going to get into it or you're not. It is the reality. The other thing as well is that for people in the UK, in particular, it is actually getting harder and harder to actually get in on the action with some of these things. I don't know how other people found it. Because Trump Coin was launched through some DEX exchanges, that might be less of an issue because there's generally less KYC and AML checking and that kind of thing. But it can actually be quite difficult to simply get to acquire some of these things. I don't know. Did anyone manage to buy any Trump Coin today, or ELON Coin, or Doge, or anything?
Yeah, I managed to get some. Caught the news at roughly about 7 a.m. Saw it going. Estimated it was still doing its wave one, so I jumped in. But sorry about this.
Yep, I think you're right there. It has been going in kind of like waves of growth. If we take a look at on this one, just as it refreshes, I think because it launched at like 2 a.m. or something, and it had a cycle for about 3 hours and went up quite nicely and then settled down. And there was another wave for another hour or so, and then it rocketed up again, then it settled down for a while, and it went up again. So there's like 3 increases. Then it flatlined for a while, then moved into the 4th cycle, which is probably the point at which by 5 o'clock in the morning, probably most people are thinking, "Oh, well, that's it. I've missed out." But equally, some people are waking up at that time of day and thinking, "Oh, well, maybe it's got a bit more." And sure enough, it went up from 37 up to 73, pretty much. So it nearly doubled. And that was in 11:30 to 7. So for 4 hours, basically as some of the markets woke up or some of the people woke up.
So Gary, thank you for that. But if you show that view again, please.
Yeah.
So how do you buy it?
So I think Oscar said he bought in. I don't know which route did you go through, Oscar?
Did you just press that button that says buy? Is that how you get it?
It can be. I'm not registered with Dex Screener or Meteora or anything, but usually it can be as simple as that. If you've got an account with any of these, it can just be a matter of you saying, "Yeah, this is what I want and I'd like to buy." But it's not clicking on the buy here. This where it says buy and sell. that is simply saying what the trades are that have actually happened.
Okay, so where then do you actually go? So basically, you have to register first
Correct. Correct. So I think is it Meteora, maybe one of the dexes that people use a lot. I'm not into using decentralized exchanges, so there may be someone else on here who can recommend an exchange. Go for it.
As a hand up.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to CoinMarketCap and just look at the coin and then look at the markets it's available in, you'll see every exchange it's available in. Binance has it now, OKX, Radium, a couple of the other dexes.
Could I just ask a question, please, Gary? And apologies to the rest of you who are obviously, well, presumably a lot more experienced than I am. My naivety. This coin, you're saying you showed the chart launched at 2 a.m. I'm presuming that then that's UTC, that's GMT. Is that a typical time that these coins will launch? Or is there a different time of day when coins get launched? Is there a standard time?
I don't think there's a standard time, and in fact, 2 a.m. if that really is UK time, strikes me as a very unusual time for a US coin to be launching. I'd have expected it to line up better with the US markets.
So that's where I'm going with this question, I think, Gary, if I could just interrupt for a sec, because you talked about several waves, and it flatlined for a while, then about sort of 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, it rose. Now, that's our time. It says UTC on the chart. So that could be several hours ahead. If you're looking at Southeast Asia or Singapore or something, that's a very different time zone. And I'm just wondering if there is, so I don't mean is there a typical time for a launch, but is there an optimum time, perhaps, might be a better question, for a launch. So you get to ride a few waves, and if you do get a plateau, but you do get then a big kick, is there a particular, are you aiming for a particular market? So for example, would you like it to run for a few hours in a particular time zone so that it then gets picked up by another market in a different time saying, well, here we go, this one's being pumped?
Yeah, it's a good call. The short answer is I don't know with either of those things, because first of all, I'm curious when I actually check this. Looking at this on CoinMarket, it's showing it started at 8 p.m. Yesterday, which presumably is UK time. I'm trying to work out 8 p.m. how that equates to 2 a.m. somewhere. That's a 6-hour time zone difference. So maybe the other exchange I was looking at was showing it Pacific Daylight Time or PST or something like that. So I don't actually know.
And you're in UTC right now, are you?
Yeah.
GMT, yeah.
Let me think about that. Yes, I'm in the UK, so it's
you're in UK time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. And I never remember, and to be honest, professionally, this time zones cause me a nightmare as well of knowing which time zone you're in and trying to organize meetings. So with crypto, it can vary from exchange to exchange as to what time is actually being shown here. so I don't honestly know. All I think of it is that right now it's showing up to, what's that saying, 7:18. So that would suggest that this is local time it's showing here. And if we go back, it started trading on this at 20:15 yesterday, which is 8:15 on Saturday. So it looks like it started Saturday evening, which would be early Saturday afternoon US time.
So the listing on the DEX that you showed, DEX screener, is possibly behind the curve. The CoinMarketCap have probably picked it up.
No, it might be simply that the DEX screener is showing it in a different time zone, because I don't know where DEX screener is based. So,
I don't mean to take over here. I mean, it's got UTC there, but I was just wondering what Oscar and Dan or Rebecca or Annie think of that question, if they got any thoughts on that time zone thing, because that it's quite crucial, isn't it?
If I can participate on this, I read that it was actually launched on Friday, but in either case, if you launch a coin, it's not usually launching every platform at the same time.
Yeah.
You arrange for all of them, and you have to pay them to launch your coin, and it will happen on different days.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it depends on that, but I would say that the most logical thing would be launching it where at a time that it's Europe's daytime, Asia early night time, and America's morning. So that would be between midday and 3 p.m. Europe time because
Mhm.
it's the morning for the US and Asia is still awake. That would be the perfect time, so the perfect hour to launch it. But it depends on what you're aiming. You can launch it on an American platform in the morning, then maybe the next day, European platform is gonna launch at a different time. It depends on the market usually.
I was going to back that up as well. So, for example, if it's like a gaming token, and I know we've got people on here who are involved in gaming things, if that gaming is particularly aimed towards South Korea, then you're going to target towards more like an Asian time zone than a US one or a European one. So the answer you can tell
So
up in
I
you
can
can tell
help
up
with I can help with that.
go for it, JT. Welcome aboard, by the way.
So yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, it was launched at 2 p.m. UK time on the 18th.
It's 2 p.m.
Sorry, 2
UK
p.m. No,
time.
2 a.m. Sorry.
It was 2 a.m. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
2 a.m. in the morning on the 18th. So most of us were sleeping. When it was launched, it was like straight to 100 million market cap. So
That's great.
yeah, coin market cap, sometimes only tracks from the time that they actually picked it up because majority of the tokens you have to pay to be on coin market cap. Yeah, if you don't pay, then eventually they'll pick up. Yeah, if it's a high volume, and they will list it themselves, and the ones that they don't list it just pick up through the indexes that there is on whatever blockchain the token has been launched, but they don't show all the information. Obviously, it just picks up automatically. So yeah, it I've been looking at that since I woke up yesterday in the morning. And I was like, wow, it was already, I actually looked at it when it was already about 2 billion market cap. You went very, very quickly, and then it didn't stop until 7. It was really crazy,
Yeah. And the current market cap is showing coin market cap as 13.5 billion. That is like
Oh
insane.
God, yeah. But
I don't know what to say, honestly. I think we've reached a time where nothing makes sense anymore in crypto, to be honest,
I'm convinced it never did. It's just that this
It
has
did for a while.
this has
but
removed
yeah.
any doubt. That's all. Oscar, go for it.
Yeah, no, I love
Oh.
what JT's saying. I love what JT's saying. Nothing makes sense. I mean, everything we studied for the last 3-4 years, everything we learnt from, there was already coming to a point where you can't compete with the AIs and the speed bots that are trading now. And now we've got lunatics releasing things and left, right, and center.
Mm.
You just can't make sense of it. And it's painting such a bad light on what it really could do for us. But obviously, everyone's got FOMO. Now I'm seeing FOMO come back on the scene, and everyone who was switching off is like reactivated now. I've got friends calling, "Hey, what's going on? I'm interested. How do I get in?" And you're like, "Oh, go away. Just go away." And now payday's coming up, right? Payday's coming up for people, end of month payday. And they're all calling, asking, messaging, "What can I buy? How do I get in? What's the KYC?" And I just want to turn my phone off. Seriously.
I guess the one thing from it, and it is the good thing about hype, is that it increases awareness because you can be sure that on Monday the mainstream press will be awash with this of anything that allows them to not talk about Trump and instead talk about the hype and craziness of crypto, that they'll be doing it. So you'll probably find that this will be hitting the press and everything. And if it goes down in the next 24 hours, there'll be even more press on it because that'll be the classic, oh, people have been wiped out because they put their life savings into this, blah, 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 blah. But they won't mention the fact that they've made 25,000-fold increase before it halved or something. They'll only talk about the halving. But the good thing is it does increase awareness. I agree for the wrong reasons. And it does stir up FOMO, but it does at least get the press columns in there. And my only concern now is that people will, as you say, FOMO, they'll buy into it in the hope of there's still some upsurge there, and it'll collapse, and that's where everyone gets burned, or a lot of people get burned. Oh, Anthony, you're gonna add on that.
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? I mean, we need to abstract ourselves a little bit here as well. Yeah, we need to take an helicopter view out of this madness and understand who actually launched it. You know, I mean, this is like in the US doing what was done with this, it's illegal. I mean, 4 hours before the launch, you can see movements of $1.5 million, yeah, being put on it. Yeah, so of course they are not afraid anymore to do it because we know who launched it and we know who the dad is, you know. So very easy to pardon the son whenever they want, you know. Joe Biden already did, so why can't I do it? So this 2025 is going to be insane. I don't think this is the only thing they're going to do, you know, the Trump family. So I expect a lot more. So the way I see this is, look, if you are in the market only, if you are in crypto and blockchain just for the tech, yeah, then don't say anything about it, you know, just do whatever you think you want to do. Or take advantage of all of that this year, you know. You don't bitch about it. Just go and do it. Take advantage when they do it. If you don't agree with all of that, then stick to the tech, but don't bitch about it, you know. So there's only two positions here, you know. Either you take advantage and you try to predict what they're going to do, or just continue to do what you're doing because you love tech and you want to continue to build stuff. Don't complain that, oh, I'm not making so much money. Well, you had the opportunity because you can see what they are going to do. I mean, it's so obvious what's going to happen, right? And again, I don't know anything. I'm just thinking outside of the box here, you know?
I think you're right. It's always been kind of like if you're into the tech, then just accept that prices don't matter. I still believe, even with this, now we've spent a while chatting about this, but it's froth. You know, what I find interesting is what's going on with blockchains and layer ones and layer twos. I find it fascinating about smart contracts and all this kind of stuff. The price movements and the excitement it generates is just marketing. It's just hype and it's just getting people interested. And I'm more interested in the tech. So if some people make loads of money out of it, good for them. If some people don't want to take the risk, good for them. Each their own, really. Sorry, Anthony, were you going to add something before you?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to ask a question. First of all, I want to thank JT for just confirming that the DEX screener start was correct. It was a 2 a.m. launch. But I'm actually very curious about, I suppose, within this group here, within the people here, as to sort of what their interests are when it comes to this kind of thing. We talked about this as a meme coin. A meme coin is, you know, by definition, something that people pile into with the hope of like it seeing a bigger rise, capping out at the top, and letting everybody else who comes in late pay for it, I suppose. I'm not sure. When JT was saying that about the tech, obviously that's a different angle completely when it comes to the you know, what's going on here. But so a meme coin to me is something, and now please, I want you guys to just like correct me or shoot me down if I'm wrong. But to me, a meme coin is a coin that just gets a craze. It gets a bit of pump, goes up, and then it either continues to fly, or there are lots of people who come in late who pay for the early adopters to get their profit. Now, is that, or is that not the definition of a meme coin? Is my first question. And if that is the definition, I've got more questions.
I'm going to quickly throw in, I don't believe that's a definition, but I think it's a fair description.
A description, fair enough. A description, yeah. Let me put it that way. Yeah, thank you. Well said, Gary. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is it?
I would say that's not an unreasonable thing. Just like we had it with NFTs. So this is the thing I find fascinating about crypto. Crypto goes through cycles of innovation. So I saw the crypto craze in the early 2010s or whatever. I saw the ICO craze where everyone was using crypto to fund their companies. I saw the massive growth of smart contracts. I saw the NFT craze. Seeing it with real world assets and tokenization craze. So there's just hypes of crazes. And in some ways, meme coins are just one of those many. That'd be my view. But welcome other people's thoughts.
I think Anthony said a few things that I'm going to expand on it. I always say a meme coin is really a liquidity exit for the people, for the guy who created it, and for the people that got in early. That's it.
What a nice description.
If you don't get in early, you're going to be exit liquidity for these guys, and then you might be lucky or not, It could
I like that.
look. I think there was a something released earlier this month. I think we touched base that last week. I don't know. Where it says that pump.fun 96% of people never make profit or something like that. I can't remember, Gary. Or never made more than $10,000. Yes, it was something like that. So it's a zero-sum game. Meme coins are a zero-sum game. That's it. Oh, majority of crypto is zero-sum anyway, but meme coins is like zero-sum game on steroids. The likelihood for you to actually make some profits on your trades is very, very small.
I always think back to, was it Warren Buffett who came up with the quote that the purpose of the stock market is to transfer value from stupid people to wise people?
Wealth transfer. And Trump coin is wealth transfer from everyone to the Trump family. Make no mistake. Make no mistake, okay? That's all it is.
And this is where, again, when I've had some really interesting conversations with people who start talking about, well, what value does this have, and why is it priced at where it is, and that it's like playing in the playground with Pokemon cards. If you're not into Pokemon cards, they have no value. But if you're into Pokemon cards and you've got this particular card, which is a rare character, you'll pay a lot of money for it. Each their own type thing. And it's the same with crypto. And also, if you think that someone's selling you a Pokemon card that you can then sell on for a higher price, then there you go. That's a market for you. And crypto is just that. It's just on steroids and played at scale. So it's fascinating. So, but Rebecca, I mean, you get involved in trading in there. What's the perspective around meme coins? Are they just too toxic to go near?
I'm a full-on hater on that. Like, for me, it's just a joke. I don't like meme coins. I am a trader, so I do a lot of, I speculate a lot. Yes, we all do. But when I first started in this market, it was about believing in the market, and I still do. Therefore, I don't touch meme coins. The only kind of joke that I have ever touched was Dogecoin right before the elections. And even though after that, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that ever again. But I do have to say something. I was having a conversation with someone lately about the ethics in crypto. And somebody was telling me, no, the small retailer, which is usually the one buying meme coins, has to be protected. And I was thinking, honestly, if you're a retailer and you're going to put your savings into something and you don't read a white paper, and if you lose it, that's on you. It's like there are white papers out there and it is free to read it. Like, you don't even have to pay anything to do that. So if you put your money into this and it goes to zero, and there are thousands of tokens out there that have gone through the same process, that's totally on you. I mean, and it is true. A few here said earlier, people are calling and asking what's this about. The other day, a friend told me, "Have you seen the fart coin?" Which apparently is another meme coin that has like a couple of billions now. And
Mhm.
he asked me like, what's going on with that?" And I have no answer. That's just stupidity is a worldwide disease. It's not just in crypto. It happens everywhere. And let's not make a mistake. Trump is a businessman. What he just did is just he knows he's gonna take the White House on Monday. Therefore, he just launches the token because he knows he's gonna make money on it. And all the big players from traditional markets and businessmen are gonna do this. I mean, Nancy Pelosi got charged last year because her portfolio, traditional portfolio, was over 100% profits, which is impossible to do in a traditional market. And that was just a traditional market. So what can you expect from our market that so far has been less regulated? I mean, compared to the amount of things happening in the traditional market and the very dark history that they've had so far, I think we're still very clean. It will get worse. It will. And they're gonna keep launching these kind of meme tokens and taking people's money, but just don't buy it. I mean, I've been trading professionally for a couple of years, and none of us have ever been involved with this. Only with Dogecoin recently. Like, that's it. So if we don't buy it, people should not buy it. I mean, no one in this room has so far said, "Well, I love meme coins." If you buy to make profit, okay, fine. If you had the luck to make a profit, that's great. But we are not in favor of it.
Yeah, you only have to look at kind of like the names as well, because you're right with the token you mentioned before. But you've got the Elon Coin, the Baron Coin, Melania Coin, Elon again. These are all like political type people coming in who are all trying to wade into this space. It is just crazy, but equally, I see it as like people who are into playing cricket instead of football or something. In fact, to me, anyone who plays with anything with a ball, I don't understand it. But they're all completely different. But you get some people who will sit and watch a cricket match, which I've got a can of paint drying, which is more interesting to me. But that's what they like doing. So good on them, type of thing. Yeah, go for them.
You just showed an interesting list there of coins, and obviously they're a lot capitalizing on the fact that there's an inauguration tomorrow. But where are these tokens or these coins, these meme coins actually announced in the first place? Somebody, JT, I think mentioned Pump Fund. Is that where they? I mean, how if you're creating a coin like that, where do you, if you were going to get in there at 2 a.m., rise a couple of those waves there, Gary, that you showed earlier, and then be lucky later in the day. Where are you best placed to be picking up that information? Where are these things announced?
It's a fair question. I don't know. Anyone else? What were your favorite sources to find out what's being launched?
I've got a two-part answer to that. So firstly, all these coins being created and launched are usually done in stealth with insiders and teams working on stuff before it's launched. So there is select groups, let's call them the insider group, before a launch.
Cabals.
Yeah.
I was trying to avoid that because this is going out on YouTube later, but yeah, so what JP did. And then secondly, mind the launch insider teams that are prepping this. There's a lot of those insiders who run their own private groups, Telegram bots, you name it, right? And they know how to and what to load up on these coins when it comes out so that it sends the right signals across all signal tracking dexes or bots that are out there to do the marketing for them automatically. So if you've got trading bots automatic on and you've given it an instruction, if anything passes this MACD, that RSI, this cap, so on, just buy automatically and keep buying with a trail stop. They know these are all set up, and that's how they launch these things. By the time you've heard it, you're already on the first wave of purchases. You won't hear it before that unless you're in an insider group.
And I think that's
wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I think that's sometimes the thing as well. You will find that they'll set up a Telegram group or something, and I'll talk about a pre-launch, and this is where So someone was talking about, I think Rebecca was mentioning about reading the white papers and getting to know about the token and that. My experience with previous cycles, things like ICOs, were again that they had white papers published about what the token was about, what it was for, what the tokenomics were, and everything like that. My experience is that a lot of people simply did not understand what was written in the white paper. And even more, a lot of people didn't care because all they want to know is this going to go up or down? And if it's going to go up, I'm going to put money in and hope I'm going to make money. A lot of people didn't have a clue. And I know years ago, I saw a phase where there were a lot of industry-related tokens being launched. So in insurance, for example, there were a few crypto tokens relating to insurance. Insurance is something I happen to know something about. And I read some of the white papers, and it's quite obvious that who developed the wipers didn't understand insurance, but they were still being hyped. And it was really interesting how many people were buying into the tokens and say, oh, yeah, these guys obviously know about insurance. I've read their white paper and they've got some really good stuff in there. It's like, if you're actually in the industry, you'll know they have not got a clue. So I'm not actually convinced about white papers, because I think if they're talking about specific industries, unless you work in that industry, it's unlikely you'll have the domain knowledge to actually understand what they're talking about. And where they might be able to talk about problems that they're solving, things like anonymity. So if we look at things like Dash, Monero, this kind of thing, that kind of thing most people can understand without understanding the intricacies in that. But for a lot of them, the white papers, they're marketing hype. So Rebecca, I'm going to disagree with you on the value of white papers, because I think a lot of them are probably written by ChatGPT these days, and probably don't mean that much.
I have a comment and a question, Gary. So thank you so much, everyone, for your contribution. So I think from what everybody has contributed so far, I think for the lowest risk approach that I would have taken would have been purchasing it at the time it's 75 cents. If I just purchase $1.50, I'm not interested in getting greedy here. Just as an experimental thing. Just use $1.50. If I lost $1.50, I can still afford that. But with $1.50 by today, it's 75 per Bitcoin, or however you counted it. Mm-hmm. So it's nearly $100. So I'm $100 better off if I sell it today. Just like an experimental thing. But I probably wouldn't do an experimental thing when the value is too high. It's not for my financial status at the moment. But my question is, one of the things that one of you guys has mentioned about insider, I'm quite curious, because I thought insider trading is actually a very illegal thing. So is it actually something that is completely decentralized for cryptocurrency, and therefore it's actually legal?
It's not illegal because crypto is not a financially regulated market. So it's illegal to do insider trading on regulated markets.
No. It's illegal to do insider trading. It doesn't matter where.
Okay.
So let's be careful about this, Gary. It's not just the regulation. Insider trading, it doesn't matter in all walks of life. It's illegal, regulated or not regulated, because basically you are financially cheating someone, and that's illegal. Another thing that people think that sniping bots is illegal. There is only one state in one country that's illegal, and that's the New York state in the US. Every single other country has no regulations for sniper bots, and the sniper bots are the ones that someone mentioned already on the call. Those are the ones that are used by these people that are launching meme coins, because they pretty much get bundlers, and those bundlers have like hundreds of wallets, and they distribute across hundreds of wallets. They snipe when the coins are launched, and then they just dump on people. They use people as exit liquidity, So sniping bots are not illegal yet. That's why everyone that is a trader in meme coin is trying to either already using it or trying to learn how to use it. So many people learn how to use it, and that's why not many people make money on pump.fun anymore, because all the bots are killing each other constantly, It's fascinating. I look at this from a helicopter view. It's incredible fascinating, to be honest.
Yeah. Thanks to the correction on the whole regulation piece, which, given how often I have to go through compliance training with working in the finance sector, it does get frustrating, because that does basically say, don't share anything about any business or any activity type thing. So that's a first call, JT. But you're right as well on sniping bots as well. So for those who don't know, these are simply bots that have been set up with a set of instructions that might say, if a coin becomes available at this price and it goes up by this much or down by this much, or the volumes, that then buy or sell or whatever. So it's an automated trading thing. And what you can sometimes get is kind of like a compounding effect. So a bit like how there was the flash crash on the New York Stock Exchange I think it was about 10 years ago, which was all trading bots that decided to sell off shares all at the same time. Similar effect with sniping bots, that they just go in, they spot opportunities and they buy, and they effectively then trade against each other, and it's a systemic effect. So that can be what can lead to things rapidly rising. Oscar,
One thing I wanted to raise is, so what we've seen now is, so previously you had key opinion leaders, influencers, marketing, so on. However, now the new degens, if I may call them that, they're watching wallets. Wallets have become key opinion leaders or influencers, so they'll track wallets that have done really well or were involved in such launches that did extremely well, and they'll put trackers on those wallets to say, if this wallet purchases anything new, alert me, or purchase, copy trade, so on and so forth. So that's the new trend, and that's what's catching a lot of these people who are just in it for the money, obviously, right? And that's setting a whole new trend, which is quite scary, because what wallets were involved with Elon or Fartcoin or Trump right now are going to have the most people copy trading or scanning or tracking them. So whatever these people do next is anticipated to go up due to that trend, which is just manic, right? So, yeah.
And I guess you've got an extension on that as well, because once the owner of that wallet knows that it's being tracked for that purpose, then you can end up with a situation. I'm trying to remember, I used to work in traditional stock exchanges where you effectively put in a ghost order to buy or sell, and everyone sees that trade, and then they act on it, and then you cancel it and everything. But you're right, watching wallets and watching whales. So there's even things like whale alert. So here we've got, I've just pulled up whale alert at the moment, that allows people to look at particular wallets owned by well-known people and set their alerts up and do stuff on that. So yeah, you're right.
So you're right as well, Gary. So these people that start to monitor certain wallets, from these whales or influencers or whatever, start to do that, and then they dump first than the actual trader, because they start to understand the behavior. So what these guys have those wallets that we're watching, they constantly change wallets now. So they do exactly that ghost trading, and they buy first through another wallet, and then just force either the market to understand how they are buying it, and as people are buying, they don't dump from that wallet at all, and they start to DCA with the separate wallets that they have. So it's a game. So it doesn't. Then people start to track all the other wallets, new wallets that are the ones we're investing, and they keep changing the wallets. So there's no fix for that. But the other thing I've seen recently on another topic, is it seems that now every other blockchain / DeFi expert became an AI agent expert, and everybody's launching AI agents. I can't stop laughing with this. I mean, it's just people just go where the money is, you know? Not it's all about honestly, it's not about people doing stuff they like anymore or contributing for the evolution of blockchain and decentralization or whatever will driving people is literally just grab the money, you know,
Mhm.
as much as they can. I seen people today, somebody sent me something, you know, which is just a Telegram bot and they're calling it an AI agent. So people going to wrap these Telegram bots and they call them they're launching AI agents, you know,
Mm.
and they're launching a new project. It makes me laugh, honestly, you know.
But again, I've
It's sad.
seen I've seen this, that there are some people who they're fascinating as to how good an expert they become. So I saw a load of people who were like crypto experts about 10 years ago, a little bit less, who bizarrely enough suddenly became PPE experts. So this is like medical clothing and masks and that. They became like leading experts on that kind of stuff at one point, and then they became experts, as you say, on AI and ChatGPT or GPT-3 experts. Then they become Gen AI experts. Now AI. It just amazes me. Some people are just incredible at being experts at being experts. So it's a fair point. Maybe I want to start wrapping this up
Before we
really.
go,
Go
can
for it,
I say
Rebecca.
something? Now that
Yeah.
we are criticizing people who are here to make money and I'm a trader, so let me defend our side. I do believe in crypto, but I am here to make money too. So it is true that many portfolios are being copied. Like recently, we learned that a certain company actually had access to our accounts because we actually gave them all of our tradings. It was an accountancy company, and they run it through an AI program, try to figure out the logic behind the strategy behind our investment, which obviously is breaking like 10 different rules in that moment. But the thing is, I would say the way to protect yourself from that is doesn't matter if somebody's trying to copy what I do after I buy it, they cannot figure out the strategy. Because I can come in and I can say, well, I have long-term and short-term investments and whatever I want to say. They still will not figure it out because most of the time there are things that you see in the market that it's not based in numbers, right? It's based on, let's say, the smell of a market that you have developed over 10 years, and nobody can copy that. Nobody. It's like somebody said in September, price is going to go up. We knew it was not going to happen. We had a huge fight with several analysts about it. There were some reports saying that the price was going to go ballistic. Makes no sense because during August, the price is going to go way too down. So it's very hard for September to pick it up. And that sense of the market cannot be copied. Therefore, I don't criticize it though. And it is true that sometimes we check out Pantera's portfolio that they publish the tokens that they are investing in. And we go in, and if they are buying it, that means it's solid. And it saves me the time and money to go and find out if this project is actually real or we're talking a scam. So sometimes we do check out some hedge funds out there who publish their own portfolios. It's not like I'm gonna go to the wallet and copy it, but I understand how that can work. And there are a lot of AI bots now trying to copy a lot of wallets out there, a lot of portfolios out there. But as long as there's no specific law on that for a market, I don't think that that's gonna stop. But I mean, it doesn't worry me a lot. But I do gotta say, if you try to do that, doesn't mean that you're gonna win.
Yep.
Because maybe the portfolio you're copying is 4 out of 10. And maybe they have 10 more portfolios that you don't know about that aren't gonna balance the losses and they're gonna win at the end of the day, but you are losing. So there is real risk in that. Don't criticize it, but I gotta say, if somebody out there is doing it, be careful with that.
Yeah, I think the thing is, well, I just want to defend a little bit. I've got no criticism at all about people making money. No issue with that, as long as it is not to the loss of others through unfair advantage. Okay, so if someone loses money because one person puts money on red and one person puts money on black, that's fine. One's going to win, one's going to lose. If one of them knows which way it's going to fall, that's a different story. So I'm fine with making people making money. Good luck on them. And it's probably a good thing to finish as well. There is lots of opportunity here, but coming back to Dan's point earlier on of it all feeling a bit crazy, welcome to crypto, everybody. It just gets crazier and crazier. There's lots of opportunities. There's lots of risks, and I never offer financial advice beyond never risk what you can afford to lose. So I'm going to have to close it off there, I'm afraid. A great thing. So, a truly crazy week in crypto with Trump Coin and ELON Coin and everything. Thanks everyone for joining in. Really interesting conversation. Thanks for sharing the views and everything. Be safe and have fun. See you around then, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.